Good morning, YouTube. Wanted to go over a couple of things today that actually doesn't involve firearms. It involves knives. Now, most people don't really put as much effort into their knives as they should. And the reason for that is they put so much effort and emphasis on whatever firearm they own that they ignore the knife. And what they end up with is a cheap folding knife or some made in China junk that is not a survival knife. They think it is, but it's not. Now, most people end up with, you see a lot of people carrying around little folders like that. And there's nothing wrong with that knife, except the fact is it's not really a survival knife. It's a utility knife, and there's a difference. A survival knife is something, if you don't have, say you're out in the woods somewheres, if you don't have anything else to really cut wood, baton wood, and do basically all the things you need it to do, then you don't have a survival knife. This is great for everyday use, like around the house, which isn't going to be much because folding knives are never as strong as a fixed blade. Never will be. Now, you notice the knife behind the folder is it's a U.S. Air Force survival knife, American made. They've been around for 40 plus years, if not more, and they're not expensive. You can get them with the sheath, which comes with a sharpening stone, for right around $45, $50. You don't need to spend a lot of money on this stuff. And it is very durable. It's a 5-inch blade. And I've used that knife quite a bit. And it does everything I can think of to do with it. It's very sharp. And it's one of those knives, I'm not worried about it. Now, the other thing I tell people to do with a knife is, if you can carry as little as possible in one package, in one setup, do it. This is the sheath that I've got for the survival knife. Now, you notice how it's got a lot on it. There's paracord, a couple of different lengths of it, but it's quite a bit. I've got strike anywhere matches, got a striking stone. Of course, the sharpening stone for the knife is still here. Again, you'll notice the compass. I've got some sinkers with a little bit of string right there, but that's not for fishing line. That's just to hold them on there. I have quite a bit of fishing line knotted up in here. Behind here is a P51 can opener, and underneath here, wrapped up in plastic, are fishing hooks. Now, this doesn't take up any more room than that sheath took up. There's hardly any weight to this. That's the type of outfit you need. You don't need a lot. Simplicity is the best key, but there's everything you can use here will possibly save your life. You can start your own fire. You've got ways, if you're out where there's any water, where you can get to, maybe you can go fishing if you need to. You've got plenty of rope. You've got a compass, so you know where all of that is very simple. And you don't need to spend, like I said, a lot of money on this. Now, taking that aside, notice what I have behind the knife. That is an Ontario 12-inch blade machete. Again, American made, very strong, very capable. I've used this some. If it looks like it's new, it's not. I did paint it recently. I just did not like the finish on that. So I just did a quick green and black finish, which is a little flatter than the finish it had. I didn't really like the shinier finish it came with. It was like a phosphate type finish, but it was still a little shinier than I liked. So I went with that. And, I have used it. I did sharpen it a little bit to get a little better edge on it. Not a lot, because it had a really good edge on it. That machete was $20. Brand new. And it's not made in China. It's American made. It's good quality. And it's the size enough where you're not going to be hauling around a huge machete. But that'll do everything you need it to do. And I have just started kind of working on the sheath for that. There's the sheath. It's simple nylon. I wish they'd done a little more effort with the sheath, but it does its job. And you notice that has quite a bit of paracord wrapped around that. Eventually I'm going to get another compass for that and do a little bit of finagling and getting that set up as well. But you don't need to spend a lot of money for survival knives and gear. At least not to carry around. Between the Air Force survival knife and the machete right there is under $75. I think I got the Air Force survival knife I think I got that 45 with shipping, and the machete was 20. So I'm talking $65. The paracord and a few extra gadgets and gizmos here, maybe 10 bucks altogether. So about $75 for everything. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but you do need to put some thought into it. You know, take with you only what you're going to need. I can take the Air Force survival knife in that sheath out on a day trip, and I'm not worried. I have pretty much everything I need. I can throw in I can throw in the back right there where the paracord is. I can throw in like an emergency blanket, which don't take up a lot of room. I can carry that with me. A small tarp goes with me sometimes. I mean, nothing I really don't need. But again, put some effort into it. But you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. And that's the secret. You don't need a $200 knife. You don't need a nice shiny stainless steel machete, that's got this, really goofy looking edge to it like these made in China ones do. You don't need those. And they're not going to hold up. I've seen a few of those made in China ones are already, you can't get much use out of them. That Ontario right there, it'll last you a long time. I've had a Blackie Collins machete. I've had it for more than 20 years. Thing still works as good as the day I got it. Buy quality, but you don't have to, when you buy quality, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. A lot of times when you see advertisements in magazines, they're getting paid for that. And they're going to get paid to run the better ones. And I'm sorry, most of the magazines, you don't need to buy a $200 knife to do what a $45 knife will do all the time. Get your knife, get your gear, but you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. So, little piece of advice here, YouTube.